some readings for you this evening. Live, certainly live. See how close to the hour I get. A lot going on in around here today. There is. Um, yes, I've been. I try and do this every couple of weeks. In case anyone's watching me do this for the first time, I try and do this every couple of weeks. Um, when I was getting interested in spirituality, consciousness, metaphysics, and all these things, I would go for readings actually in a place called Mysteries, which is in Covent Garden in London. That's where I would go. And I go for readings every now and then. And I think because I just wanted to know more, I wanted to explore and find things out and discover and all of that. And so I'd go for readings then. But, I'd find that I'd go with only just like a question or two. I didn't need a whole kind of thing. And so that's why I do this. That's why I do this, an opportunity just for, a couple of questions, one question you've got that's on your mind and you can get an answer and perhaps probably confirm what you already knew. That's what I tend to find a lot in occasions like this, which can help you ease up and relax and so on. Couple of things before I just get started today. Let's see if I can bring this up. There it is. Giving a class in a week tomorrow for the solstice, and I'll be with Lewis and Rhonda for this class. It's called the Wheels of Life, an exploration into the spiritual heart and the relevance of that day and that experience and how to get into and access the spiritual heart and keep it open, shall we say. So that's on my website. If you can't find it, send me an email or text me or something like that. It's going to be a lovely class. Lewis has some super stuff prepared. Rhonda always does, and I'll be channeling. I believe it's Archangel Michael will be coming through. To speak to us all then as well. So that's a week tomorrow. That's on the 21st. That's on Zoom. You can join. That will be I think 5 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. And there was something else I felt to share today. There's an old Aesop's fable about the sun and the wind, and the sun and the wind choose to have a competition. And so down on the ground, they see a man and wearing a coat, and they agree, okay, whoever gets the man to withdraw his coat, take off his coat first of all, is the winner. And so the wind goes first and blows, but the man just draws his coat closer to him. And then the sun goes next and just shines. And then the man, of course, gets hot and takes off his coat. So where I'm going with this is just, watching the last week and certainly this week and the volatility that's out there politically, economically, and of course, internally. I really feel we as individuals in a collective need to get better at recognizing when someone else is calling for help. Because in general, no one overtly and explicitly does. I think it's predominantly a male thing to not do that because we don't like to feel weak. But I don't think it's just a male thing. And so what happens when you see someone going through a bit of a tough time, even though they're indirectly not saying it, and what happens when you say, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay? And so on. What happens is they'll close down. They'll be like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? They'll be defensive. Of course they will, because no one wants to feel like they're not coping. So instead of being direct and maybe masculine about it, when you want to support someone like that, go the feminine way. Come around the other side and reach out to them and say something unrelated, like, hey, you looked really good the other day. This is to whoever. You look good the other day. Or this made me think of you. Or even something like, or even reaching out to someone and saying something like, hey, can you help me out with this thing? Okay. Well, these things, what they do is they make someone more receptive. They make someone open up a little bit more. And at some point, they are more likely to reach out to you then if they should need support. And if they don't, even if they don't, you might be the person, or your connection might be the thing that made them just stop and pause and realize that actually life was okay. Things were going okay. You might be the person who brought a smile to their face. And you've all done it before. You probably didn't know it. But you might be that person, and you're your reach out might be the thing that make the person felt that things are okay. Just a thought. Okay, just a thought. All right. So I'm going to be listening to my own music today instead of the usual stuff I listen to. Let's have a look at what questions you guys have today. Natasha. Guidance, please, the spirit guiding me to close my massage business. Give me time and energy. Okay. Natasha, I think what you've got right now is a window of opportunity. For right now, I would say don't close it. Right now you're in the test. Okay, right now you're in the test, and I hope you know what I'm talking about there. Do I go this way, do this way, and just the pull. Okay, I believe there is going to be an opportunity for you to close it, but I don't think you are to. Yeah, it's so funny. So funny. I don't even know that I've seen this in a reading before. I'm looking at three kings, literally three kings. If ever there was a time of year to see three kings, it's this one, right? And that's actually to keep it open. So what I would say to you, Natasha, is I don't think you're to close it. I think you need to look at how hemmed in you're feeling. I'm not saying you've got this going on, but the sort of reading I'm looking at is I see this when someone's going through burnout, and what does the mind do? The mind says, I'm done. I've got to be done with this. I've got to stop this, and that is different to being burnt out, and so one has to deal with burnout and overwhelm first rather than terminating something. So I think you're actually to keep it going. But look at, please don't keep it going without addressing how the confinement you're feeling. Okay, that is what has to be addressed. And if you can't keep it, if you can't address the confinement while keeping it open, don't keep it open. That's what I would say to you. Okay. Hello, Angie. Hello, Peggy. I miss you too. Peggy. I'd love to see you. Mary. I've just seen your question there, Peggy. I'll get to this first. Mary, is this new old relationship worth pursuing? Will anything come of it? Okay. So Mary, what I'm seeing here is I'm not going to say the deepest or the opposite, but there is a clear soul relationship here, and it's time to explore it. I don't know that you need to couple up, but I really, really encourage you to explore this relationship and what's there for you. I think the two of you balance each other's. Is that what I want to say? No, I'm not going to say balance. I want to say recognize each other's emotional tidal system. Ooh, never said that before. And so with that, you both feel comfortable with each other. And for God's sake, for two people to feel comfortable with each other these days, that's a blessing and a half, isn't it? So I would say yes, there is something to explore. And see what it is, and see what it is. I think we've really got to get less attached to this is the one, and lean a little bit more into let me see what is here for me, because that will yield things. All right, Angie. Do I see you buying a business? And if so, when do you see this happening? Interesting. Right. I'm just going to assume that you do and are going to do due diligence, right? Because let's just accept what this is and what this isn't. I do recommend pursuing buying this business. Be sure to clear as much of the, I don't know, attachment, whatever it is, from the current owner, because you don't have it yet, before you proceed. I do think there's opportunity for you here. I think you'll feel that you missed out if you didn't, but if you don't, there will be another opportunity in a similar sphere to this at some point, right? In a year or two, probably closer to two. So think about if you're going to, then think about obviously due diligence, always due diligence, but also think about clearing attachments and so on, cords, connections with the current owner before you proceed, because it will be your business and not theirs at that point. You're asking, so when do you? So if you do, when do I see this happening? I'm getting earliest late February, probably closer to spring here, if you're going to go ahead. But don't just listen to the last thing I said there. There are some steps to go through. And if it isn't this one, there will be another opportunity like it again. Yeah. Peggy, so any advice health related issues? Can't seem to get over this pneumonia. I'm sorry. The cough. Peggy, I'd love to have a look at it. See what we can move over there. Right. In terms of what I'm getting about its cause, not just its cause, but the prolonging of it. Um, it's this is stuff from the past, Peggy, and um, I'm actually, for what it's worth, I'm actually getting it's not too distant past, like probably the last decade, which in some respects is a silver lining to that, because it's not like it's not, let's say, when you were 9 years old or something, and there's a little bit further to go back, but it is stuff in the past that's still around, that's accumulated. And I want to say that again, accumulated. What would you do to clear an accumulation? I just want to put that in your head. That is the bulk of it. There is an element here related to your partner, to your husband, and your relationship with that. I use my word intentionally. I say that rather than him. It's your relationship with the relationship. Okay? So I do see this clearing up. I do. The behavior, your behavior that I see prolongs it, is holding back words. Okay, so it begins here, gets caught here, manifests here. So I hope that supports or gives something to think about. I'm taking the kids actually away to Virginia at the end of this week, but the week after Christmas, if you want to come in, I mean, it'd be lovely to see you in any case. We take a look at that. Ginny. Oh dear. Surgeons told him to do 4 infections. Wow. They're going to clear it. They're going to clear up. The infections are going to. Um, you know, is there something going on the oral surgeon has missed? Remember the person you're talking to here. The oral surgeon's done his job, or his or her job. End of story. Why has there manifested not just an infection, but 4? That is that is the way, I'm going to say this, that is the way that your grandson has chosen to clear some toxicity from his body. Okay, so we're not blaming. The surgeon hasn't missed anything. I do see this clearing up. And let's also honor the mastery of your grandson, that he's created this way to clear some deep stuff. What a efficient way to do it. So I don't have a concern about this, and I don't see it any fault or mistake or anything of the surgeon. I'm Jamie. I'm a little dyslexic, so give me a second here. Yesterday, at the big interview, and when he asked me about a time when I went above and beyond, I answered with a story about where I was trying to save a fighter jet pilot. previous job, but I never found out if you. I can't see all of this. 1 second. Okay. The man interviewed me yesterday finished my story halfway through and was the pilot. I mean, that's incredible. So, if anyone is listening to this, if I'm understanding this right, Jamie, you had an interview, you asked a question, and shared about saving a pilot, and the man you were interviewing was that pilot. I mean, that's just incredible. That's a story and a half to share. And forgive me just being a little just direct. I've got to stay on point here. I'm not sure I see a question, given that I'm here to answer questions. So if you don't have a question, super, and thank you so much for incredible sharing, and I hope you got the job. Anything else? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Shannon, I'm not doing general questions now. I'm sort of past that point in the evening. Please feel free to put a specific question in. Should you go ahead and make a move to Middle East? Anything you need to watch out for? I don't like how this is looking. This move to the Middle East that you're planning. I'm not getting a good. I'm not getting the sort of reading I would make a move based on. Let's put it like that. And if you've been watching me long enough today, then you know I would say if I did. So I'm going to say not right now. I'm going to say not right now. Now, moving to another country, this is not small things that we're talking about here. Obviously, we can't have a back and forth. So I'm just going to now move on. I'm going to leave that with you. And emotionally, I don't think you're ready to make this move. Moves to another country, moves to a house, new jobs, new relationship, anything like that, takes a great deal of emotional alignment. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think you're aligned with this move yet. Oops, how do I do this? There we go. Work is miserable right now. I'm sorry to hear that, Cindy. Do you see it getting better or me getting a new job? Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. This isn't a simple, clear-cut reading I'm looking at here, so just give me a minute. Right. Okay. It was a little confusing. So my answer is both. I see things improving, and not tomorrow, and not next week, because I'm seeing quite how muddy. I was using the word volatile earlier on. You used the word miserable. We don't need a shower of adjectives here. You can see it's not fun right now. I do see it improving, and I do see you leaving. So you might say, well, why don't I just stay? Well, in the day-to-day, the practical, yeah, the people, the situation, the dynamic, the work, the clients, all of that. Absolutely. Above that, you've got the lessons you have with all of that. And so when you resolve that lesson, the situation tends to as well. And so one, things get easier, but also an opportunity opens up elsewhere. That I see you far better placed at, that takes far less from you. So don't push that, though. Don't push that. Don't run from the lesson. I know it's easy for me to say in my cute little basement with my little pretty lights here, but I have worked in open plan offices for different types of companies. I've run businesses. I'm not being flippant with what I'm saying here. Don't rush a lesson so that you don't have to recreate it, right? And Crystal, I would have answered this for you tomorrow. Do I see finances being good in 2023? Plan to work multiple streams of income and push harder. Okay. Crystal, yes, I do see things improving. I do. Can I just offer a little adjustment here to your thinking? The more creative you are, and I'm going to refine that. The more creative you are, the greater the flow of income to you. Okay. Now, let's remember, with creativity, it's one thing to receive something, one thing to work on something, but we also got to complete it. It's got to be completed. And so if we've got lots of different things going on, or if what we're creating doesn't make it through to someone's hands, then the job's not done. So be mindful of what your energy is doing as you create, as it goes into and from you. Okay, and when I'm not just talking creating, I'm talking the things you make, things you then sell, to be quite diligent with that flow of activity. So I'm going to say two things. The more creative you are, which means open to creativity, which means open to receptivity, one, and two, the less distracted you get by other people and drama, right? Money and flow to you is contingent on both of those things. And yes, I do see a greater flow of money to you next year. Okay. All right. That's so funny. I really felt I would only be reading for half an hour today, and here we are on the dot. So that suits me fine. Actually, I think that's good. So why don't we just please take a breath with me, everyone. Please take a breath with me, and just want to say a prayer, as I always do, a prayer for you, for family, for all that is important to you, for people out there that don't know what their connection can do for them. We're going to say a prayer for them, that they receive what they need, they get what they need, they go where they need, they experience what they need. We're calling for grace all around. We're calling for grace all around. Wonderful. So I'm going to say good night then, and I'll say good night. Yes, feel free to. Feel free. Got the winter solstice class a week tomorrow, so if you're interested in joining me, Lewis and Rhonda for that, just go ahead and book that. That's on the website, and you all have a wonderful evening.